Hey gear fans, just down in the basement studio putting some strings on some guitars, trying to play each one of my guitars for 5 minutes a piece. 20 guitars at 5 minutes a piece. You know, that takes about 100 minutes to do. You start going through them and you start putting strings on them and you start realizing what you do and don't like about each one of them. But anyway, I got thinking about beginning guitar. When you go to begin guitar, so I had mentioned in my last video that I bought this for my daughter. Also bought a nice Strat for my son. So, and my girlfriend, she's got a nice rig up over here. She's got an orange rocker amp. She's got a whole pedal board she has never in her life used. She's got a nice blue sparkle Gretsch guitar. She's got a Jazzmaster. She's got an avocado Strat. She doesn't play. And my daughter has this turquoise or cyan or Pacific Ocean, whatever color you want to call it, Epiphone Les Paul. But she doesn't play. And my son, I bought him a nice black and white Eric Clapton looking lefty Strat because my son's left-handed. But he doesn't play. And my kids, it's because I pushed it on them. I pushed a guitar at them, you know. They didn't come to me. They didn't say they wanted one. My girlfriend, she wanted one, but she doesn't play. So let me tell you about beginning guitars and beginners and some of my pitfalls and what it takes. You have to want it. You have to want it. Your guitar teacher can't do it for you. No one is going to do it for you. I don't care where you take lessons or how many lessons or how much your lessons cost. You have to want it. And so let me tell you a little bit about that. When I was a kid, we grew up poor on a farm. And you know, we'd get a nice Christmas presents and we'd get a birthday present or birthday presents. You know, my parents, they'd spend some nice money on us for Christmas and birthdays. But during the year, you were out of luck, man. You weren't getting nothing. I remember one year they let me go to baseball. Or no, 2 years they let me go to baseball. And they paid the $35 or whatever. Like, that was major. That was major. You didn't ask for $35, you know, between Christmas and a birthday. We had no money. And I was out in the farm, like deep out in the, like, it's like being grounded your whole life. You know, you can't really make extra money, especially you're 10, 11, 12 out there in the farm. You say, oh, you just walk a farm over and do work. There wasn't really that. Anyway, my point is to get a guitar, forget about it. I wanted one so bad, man. And I'd found one through a church group. This kid was selling one for $75. Little did I know, he was selling a nice Chinese Les Paul, which I did end up buying. I didn't even know what I was getting for $75. I just knew electric guitar. He was like, I got an electric guitar. I'm like, I'll take it. $75. Okay. And I had to save up months. I don't even know how I got the money. But I you know, and then I show up at the door and it looks kind of like this one. You know, this is a Gibson Les Paul, but I'm like, oh, bonus. Not only is it $75 and I have $75 and it's awesome. Anyway, you got to want it. So I bought this for my daughter and she don't care. And I bought the Strat for my son and he don't care because they don't want it. And my girlfriend's got all these guitars. She says she wants it, but she don't want it. You know how I know she don't want it? Because she can't play guitar. You have got to want it, and no one can want it for you. So, now I'm 15, and I've got a $75 used Les Paul. But before that, you know what I did? Let me show you what I did. I'm just going to show you what I did here. I took a weight bar. Now, this is a slab of wood, so this actually would have been better than what I did when I was a kid. I swear this story is true. I took a weight bar. I'm going to do this one-handed. Or no, I'm going to use the camera holster. We got time. I ain't going nowhere. You can let the video play or not, or you can fast forward it, or you can watch it later. So, I swear this is true. Now, this is a flat piece of wood. This would have been more ideal. This is what I did when I was 15, 16, trying to save up for that guitar. And, you know, we got birthday, Christmas presents. My parents would have never bought me an electric guitar for Christmas. There's just no way. They were in the Sears catalog. I think they were $175 or $200. It wasn't going to happen. Plus an amp. Are you kidding me? Not a chance. So I took white out. I'm going to use this yellow paint marker instead. I took a weight bar. I swear this is true. I marked the nut. I learned this from, not to do this, but I learned what I needed, the anatomy that I needed from guitar magazines. And I did this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is like hillbilly legend stuff. This is the stuff you'd hear that, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Al Hendrix pulled a ukulele out of the trash for Jimmy James, whatever his name was at the time. I think Jimmy's name was James. I think it was something else before then. But anyway, he played on one string. It's all they could afford. That's where I was at in the 90s. Is like, I took a weight bar, like a barbell, you know, and whiteout, and I marked the frets. I swear to God, this is true. And I would come home, and I would play the tab like this. And I don't want to touch that because it's paint, but Day Tripper, 034. Now you might ask, okay, you did 3-4 months of that while you were wishing and hoping and praying for guitar. Were you able to play Day Tripper when you got the guitar home? No, I wasn't. It didn't translate, obviously, but it got my mind working on frets and doing this, and I think it gave me a little leg up, and if anything, it showed you how committed I was. I was going to learn. I was not going to give up. And that's the theme of this video, is you have got to want it, okay? No one can want it for you. Now, I was 16, right, in the 90s, so you try to be a cool guy, you know? You try to listen to Oasis and who else was out there, and Nirvana, and, you know, actually Kurt Cobain was dead by the time I got a guitar. You try to be a cool guy, but you're 16, 17 years old, and you're learning Polly Wolly Doodle. You're learning Jingle Bells. You're learning Shoe Fly, Don't Bother Me. You're learning Down in the Valley and Twinkle, Twinkle Little Star. And you know what? It doesn't matter. I wanted it bad. I'll be 16 years old. You can try to look cool and slick your hair with the dippity-doo gel and put a leather jacket on. You're still playing Twinkle, Twinkle Little Star and Tom Dooley. Skip to My Lou. How cool is I? 16 years old playing Skip to My Lou. Tisket a Tasket, Beautiful Brown Eyes, Streets of Laredo, This Old Man, Billy Boy, The Can, Oh Susanna. But this is what you do. I was 16. This isn't some 9-year-old's book. I was 16 when I did this book. And if I remember right, I think I did the whole dang book. No, you know what? It looks like from the writing I did stop. But when the Saints Go Marching In, I remember playing that. That's about where I stopped, I think. That's when I probably started playing guitar tab. So, yeah, where did I get my tab? If you are a beginner, tab is like is how you're gonna number your strings and your finger positions. This isn't a video on learning tab, but if you're new to tab, it's where the frets, the squares on the guitar neck. It's where your fingers are gonna land. I know this is all magic to new people that have never played guitar, but that's what those fret dots are, and that's what I done. Is I marked a weight barbell, and you can only get so many, you know, fake strings because a weight barbell's thin, right? So I only got maybe the top 2 strings or 3 strings, and I would turn it, and I'd come home, man, and I'd go down, 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 Day Tripper, yeah, because I didn't have a guitar, and yeah, I was months before I could save that $75 up. So fast forward to now, I push guitars on my kids. They, you know, unless they want it, it ain't gonna happen. It absolutely ain't gonna happen. If I've tried to teach, let's say I've tried to teach 20 people how to play guitar, I've not been successful with a lot of people. My brother, I would say I taught him some stuff. He's pretty good. He plays pretty good. I didn't teach him everything, I'll tell you that. I showed him some stuff. But other than that, I'd say everybody I ever tried to teach, it was a failure, because I tell them, I'm like, it's work. You got to practice. You got to, you know, let's see if I can. You got to do this. You got to go. Sorry, the angle's weird. I give somebody that homework, and that's it. That's when everybody gives up. I'm like, just sit in front of the TV and do this. Sit in front of the TV and do this. And they give up. It's like, well, I can't do your homework for you. If you're gonna give up on that, then you ain't gonna play guitar. Like I said, I was playing frickin' Tom Dooley at 16 years old because I knew it was the fundamentals I needed to learn. The other thing too is I'll just say that I felt that I had a blood connection to it. Like I deserved it. Like it was in my blood on both sides of the family to the degree that playing guitar, at least, I'm not going to say all music, piano, horns, all that. I'm just going to say guitar. That belongs to me, man. That is in my blood. And I think that's why it pisses me off so much when these YouTube trolls come by and they're like, your guitar's out of tune. Learn to play your guitar. And you're like, you MFer, you have no idea that it's in my blood and this is owed to me in this universe. You don't know what you're just some casual troll coming saying, hey, you didn't tune your guitar. Yeah, I'm also not playing you a professional song in Carnegie Hall. I whip a guitar up to show you a guitar pedal right away, you know? So I had my uncle on my mom's side, was a guitar player, and my grandpa and his brother, which is my uncle, guitar players, and my uncle played steel guitar. He learned in Nashville. He moved to Nashville when he was a kid or teenager. He lives around here now, and then if you go deeper, because I've had my DNA done, I'm related to vaudevillians and famous saxophone players, which is crazy because I have no interest in saxophone. But I have this, I feel it's owed to me. Like, I feel like it's in my blood. Not everybody has that connection. There are some people out there that want to play guitar. And they go, oh, well, I don't have, I feel like I'm not musical. And I feel sorry for them. I don't know what to say, but it's like, well, you got to start somewhere. Maybe you're the first one in your family. Maybe you don't know, that 500 years ago, somebody was playing the cat skin, whatever, in Italy, I had somebody say that I'm not musical, but it's like, well, you don't know. Like, maybe it's your great grandkids that are going, my great grandfather was musical. He started in the year 2025. He started, can you imagine that? It was 500 years ago, I don't know what to say to them people that just don't feel they're musical. I think just do it anyway. I used to think all girls could sing. Now I know that is not true. That is not true. Probably all, should we say, ethnic darker skinned girls can probably sing. I've never seen a girl like that can't sing, but not all light skinned girls can sing in my experience. But for the most part, most girls are natural singers in my experience. Most girls, but not all of them. Does everybody have a little natural something? I don't know. I can't say. I've seen a guy who had grade 8 piano, grade 2 theory, and he sucked. He sucked at everything. I don't think he could go. I don't think he could do that with his fingers playing finger drums. And he was like grade 8 piano, grade 2 theory with the Royal Conservative of Canadian whatever. And it's just like, oh, cool. So your parents have spent, $5,000 on a piano and $10,000 on lessons for you over the last 10 years. Go ahead and play me something. Well, the guy was lost, It was, oh, I can't play. I don't have I don't have Tom Dooley in front of me, I would say that guy was not naturally musical. Rather, his parents thrust it into him, thrust it at him. Anyway, you have got to want it. You can't. No one can make you do your homework. Just sit in front of the television just do your finger exercises, sit in front of the TV. It's not a big deal. And once you cross the chasm, there's a chasm from beginning guitar and not knowing anything to starting to be able to finger the frets, to starting to even figure out, you're like, what's a fret? What's a pick? What's a string? I don't know nothing about nothing, You get past all that, and then you start fingering notes, and you develop the calluses on your hand, and then there's this chasm between here and here. And if you do your homework in about, say 3 or 4 months, you will cross the chasm, and you'll be like, boom. Now I can just kind of start Start noodling. You can just, and then eventually, someone will kind of show you what the rules are for soloing. Do you think I know what notes I just played? No idea. I don't know what every note I just played is. I just know that there's rules. There's what we call scales, which is like the do's and don'ts of where I can put my fingers if I'm playing in a certain key. But anyway, you've got to want it. You have got to want to learn. No one is going to want it for you. All the lessons in the world won't help you. So I don't know if that helps at all. Again, my failure rating for trying to teach people is about 98% because I can't convince people that they need to do their homework. So you have got to want to do it. I did it myself. Made me do my homework. Had to do my homework. It was owed to me. It was my birthright to play guitar. It was in my blood. I was not taking no for an answer from the universe. So want it that bad and you'll have it. You'll be playing. And it doesn't take that long. It doesn't take that long at all. Learn your little classic, all the little riffs everybody likes at the beginning, like or this one. This is the one for me. I just messed it up. Sorry, I'm at a really weird angle to. I got the camera between me and the guitar. But anyway, you've got to want it, and you got to stick with it, and you got to do your homework. I hope this helps a beginner. All right, thanks.